Welcome back to The Gist, English Masterclass. Today, in this explainer, we're going to learn exactly how to give clear, easy-to-follow directions in English using simple words. Because, let's be honest, we've all been there, right? You're walking down the street, minding your own business, and suddenly someone stops you and asks for directions. Instantly, your mind just goes completely blank. You know the way, but trying to translate that mental map into clear, spoken English, it can feel incredibly daunting. Well, don't worry. By the end of our time together today, you're going to have a foolproof, stress-free system to guide absolutely anyone, anywhere, with total confidence. So, here's our agenda for today's explainer. We'll be covering 5 key areas. First, the polite start. Then, action and street words. After that, the 4-step formula. Next, navigating inside buildings. And finally, nailing the final position. All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the polite start, setting a helpful tone. You know, when someone asks for directions, they're usually a little stressed out about being lost. So the very first thing we want to do is ease that tension with a really welcoming phrase. You can start with something super simple, like, "Sure, I can help," or "Yes, of course." If the place they're looking for is close by, reassure them by saying, "It is not far from here." Now, if you actually want to walk with them, maybe you're heading that way anyway, you can say, "Let me show you the way." Or, hey, maybe they're already on the right path and just second-guessing themselves. In that case, "You are going in the right direction" is absolutely perfect. These phrases are great because they instantly make the visitor feel welcome. And bonus, they buy your brain a couple of crucial seconds to actually figure out the route.
Moving right along to Section 2, action and street words, the building blocks of movement. When people are trying to navigate a brand new city, they really don't want long, complicated, flowery sentences. They want simple commands. And we do this using short, punchy action words. Things like, "Go straight down this street," or "Turn left at the traffic lights," or just simply, "Cross the road." You can also use the word pass to tell them to walk by a building without actually going inside it, like "pass the supermarket." Or use follow if there's an obvious path or signage, like "follow the signs to the station." Keeping your verbs short and direct, that's the real secret to clarity here. Okay, so we pair those snappy action verbs with crucial street words. You have to give people visual markers to look out for, right? So you can confidently tell someone to turn at the traffic lights or to look for a specific street sign that has the road name on it. Now, a signpost is a little bit different. That's a sign actually pointing directions to places, like the city center or a museum. And of course, telling someone a place is on the corner where 2 streets meet gives them a highly specific, easy-to-spot geographical point. A really essential vocabulary word you'll need to understand is an intersection. This is simply the exact point where 2 roads meet or cross each other. So instead of using a vague phrase like, "when you get to the cross streets," you can give a sharp, clear direction. Go straight at the intersection. Another great feature to know is the roundabout. This is defined as a circular road where traffic continuously moves around a central island. Depending on where you are in the world, these can be incredibly common. And honestly, the clearest way to navigate someone through a roundabout is just to count the exits. You'd simply say, "Take the second exit at the roundabout." It completely removes all the guesswork for whoever is driving or walking. Okay, we've got our vocabulary down, and we're just about to put the whole system together. But real quick, if you are following the explanation, then click the like button. It really helps us out and lets us know we're keeping things clear and on track for you. All right, let's dive into Section 3, the 4-step formula, structuring your directions perfectly. You see, knowing the right words is really only half the battle. The order you say them in is what actually makes you helpful. So here is our formula. First, say where to go, give them their immediate forward momentum. Second, say where to turn. Third, mention a landmark or a street sign so they have confirmation they haven't gone too far. And fourth, finally say where the place is. If you stick to this chronological sequence, the person listening can literally build a map in their head, step by step. Let's break down exactly how this formula sounds in a real-world scenario. First up, the momentum. Go straight down the street. Next, the turn. Turn left at the traffic lights. Then we bring in our landmarks and actions. Cross the road at the pedestrian crossing and pass the pharmacy.
Finally, the destination. The office is on your right, next to the bank. Do you see how that seamlessly links the actions, the landmarks, and the final destination in a perfectly logical flow? There's no confusion and absolutely no backtracking required. Now for Section 4, navigating inside buildings, taking the directions indoors. Because let's face it, we don't just help people out on the street. You might need to guide a new colleague or a client through a massive office building or confusing conference center. The beauty here is that we simply swap our outdoor street signs for indoor vocabulary while keeping the exact same underlying logic. So instead of telling someone to look for an intersection, you tell them to take the lift to the 3rd floor. Instead of a pavement or a sidewalk, you tell them to walk down the corridor. And instead of a street corner, you guide them to a specific door or floor. That 4-step formula we just went over, it applies perfectly right here. You're literally just changing the scenery. Which brings us to our final part, Section 5. Nailing the final position, securing the exact destination. So we've successfully guided them down the street or down the corridor, but now we have to stick the landing. You must always finish your instructions with exact position words. Using phrases like on your left or on your right orients them instantly. If the place is actually touching another building, say it is next to the supermarket. If it's on the other side of the street, use opposite or across from. And if it's sandwiched right in the middle of 2 places, tell them it's between the bank and the bakery. Nailing this final position means they don't get all the way to the right street, only to end up wandering around aimlessly looking for the front door. All right, let's put the whole shebang together. When we combine absolutely everything we've covered today, the polite start, the short action words, the specific street terms, the 4-step formula, and those exact final positions, we get a perfectly structured, completely native-sounding answer like this one. Just listen to how naturally this flows. Yes, of course, sets that polite tone. Then we have our movement. Go straight down this street, then turn right at the traffic lights. We hit our landmarks, walk past the supermarket, and continue until you see a blue signpost. We handle the tricky road features. At the intersection, turn left. And boom, we nail the final spot. The hotel is on your right, opposite the train station. Honestly, it is a masterclass in clear, helpful communication. And that brings us to the end of our explainer today. If you only take away one thing, keep this rule in mind. Good directions are always simple, clear, and organized. You really don't need complex, advanced grammar. You just need the right vocabulary delivered in the right logical order. So, let me ask you, the next time a tourist stops you on the street looking completely confused, are you going to freeze up, or are you going to use the 4-step formula to totally save their day? Thank you so much for joining me to build your communication skills today. Keep practicing those steps, and see you in the next class.